So today's video is all about free ways to provide enrichment for your dog. For those that have watched my videos before, welcome back. And for those that are new here, this channel is all about living your best life with your dog. So some of my previous videos are training videos, like training tutorials. I've got toy reviews up. I've also got some other enrichment videos. This channel is associated with my business called All for Dogs. It's an online store where I stock a lot of products that I make myself, like coats, collars, leads, toys, but I also stock other brands like Zippy Paws, Kong, Outward Hound, and more. So while I do stock a lot of enrichment products on my online store, which I will link down below, I also do believe that enrichment doesn't have to really cost anything. It can be really low cost and you can still keep it fun. The caveat to this is because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be using has been recycled, it is not going to last very long and it will be messy. But that's okay, because sometimes, for those dogs that love shredding things, you don't want to be constantly buying them stuffed toys that they can shred and rip, because that adds to landfill, it's wasteful, it's expensive. So sometimes there are cheaper, free alternative ways to fulfill that natural instinct or desire for that dog to shred and pull things apart. So to begin, we will need a plastic bottle, toilet paper tubes, an egg carton, butcher's paper, a cardboard box, tape, and food that is on the dry side. So wet food and raw food will not be suitable, as it will make the cardboard soggy, which is not nice. And also for the last enrichment idea, which is the hardest or most difficult, we'll want larger sized treats, and you'll see why if you watch to the end. Now, first up, we have scatter feeding. So one thing I like to do is just grab a portion of kibble, and especially when the grass is a little bit long like this, it is due to be mowed, I just scatter feed. Scatter feeding is one of my favourite activities to do with my dogs because I don't need any prep for it, just a nice day outside. You can even actually do it inside, mostly recommended if you've got hardwood floors or tiles, and it's a great activity that uses all the senses. So we've got nose, because the dogs are using their nose to sniff out the food. They're also using their eyes, and also the tactile sense of sticking their nose in the grass and differentiating between the food and the smell of the grass or clover and different plants is a really enriching and rewarding exercise in and of itself. Next, we have the bottle puzzle. So a bit of ASMR here, but all you need is a plastic bottle and some kibble, and you want to funnel in the kibble through the top. Now, you can also make this harder or easier. So to make it easier, you can cut holes in the sides, either with a Stanley knife, but you'd want to melt the edges to make sure they're not sharp. Or to make it harder, you can actually close the bottle to get your dog to get the lid off. It's a noisy one as well, but that actually adds to the experience. So it's enriching because not only do the dogs have to work to get the food out of the bottle, but it also makes a lot of noise. It offers a different tactile experience again, so the feeling in their mouths, it's different to what they normally would, the crunchiness, and as you can see, it's quite an enjoyable activity. The next is the toilet roll parcels. This one is Kaya's personal favourite. So literally all you need is a toilet paper roll, the tube, and you just push in the sides to create a parcel. Once you've done that, you just fill it up with kibble or your choice of food. And then repeat the process at the top of just closing that parcel off. And there you go, voila! So I particularly like this activity for Kaya, as Kaya is not much of a shredder. As you can see, she prefers to manipulate items by pushing on them, nosing at them and feeling at them rather than ripping them apart. So this activity actually lasts a while for her. Next up, we have the egg carton parcel. So all you need is your egg carton. You'll also need some kibble or food, treats, and to tape it all up. So I've done two variations of this, a easier one and a harder one. You can also make it even easier by not actually taping the box together. So here I go, just taping it up. For Misha, who is a bit of a shredder, I like to tape it up quite a bit all the way around, just to make it more difficult for her. And I will also be wrapping it in butcher's paper to add another element and layer of difficulty and also enrichment. So not only is she going to have to access the food through the cardboard box or the egg carton, but she's also going to have to shred the paper and rip the paper off to get to the egg carton box. So again, I just like to tape it up a few times for Misha because she's a clever one. Oh, and she's ready to go. So here you can see how she is shredding through that paper. So she's already had it for a little bit before she's managed to shred it, and there is Kyle with her bottle puzzle. So you can see how Misha first has to get the paper off in order to get to the cardboard or the egg carton. Now she's trying to work out how to get to it, and as you'll see in a minute, because she's a shredder, she just goes straight for it, starts ripping little bits off to get access. And she's in. And Kaya has the work smarter, not harder motto of life, so she is swooping in to also get the gains of Misha's hard work. And I also did this with both the girls at one point outside, so I did not wrap them in paper. All I did was tape the egg cartons all the way around, and I just wanted to show you guys this because you can really see the difference in how different dogs can try to work out puzzles. So as you can see, Kaya again is more tactile. She's not really trying to rip or shred it, she's just trying to boop it, whereas Misha's going straight in to rip it apart. And she's in.
Who's clever? Good girl, Misha. Good job.
Kaya will just prefer to manipulate it with her paws, move it around a bit to try and get it out. Eventually she will, nibble at it to get access, but you can see both similar dogs, it takes them each a different amount of time to get into the puzzle, but they're both enjoying it. And last but not least is the busy box. This is the most challenging enrichment idea. So to begin with, I get the toilet paper tubes and I get a large dried treat, like here I'm using beef liver, and I wedge it into the bottom of the tube. So the idea is that it's wedged in there and it's actually not that easy to fall out. So it's going to have to be pulled out. Then I wrap it with butcher's paper and I tape it as like a parcel. Then the next step is to layer some butcher's paper in the bottom of a box and sprinkle some more treats in there. Then to follow, you add the toilet paper tubes, and then we will also be adding more layers of butcher's paper, and you can also sprinkle more treats in. You can keep layering it up if you've got a big box, but I've only got a small box as pictured here, and then you tape it up. And then you simply just let your dog enjoy. So as you can see, this activity really encourages your dog's natural instincts to pull, shred and chew. Some dogs have a stronger instinct than others, as you can see with Misha versus Kaya, but I've had a lot of comments in the past when people have seen me do activities like this saying, oh, what a great way to teach your dog to rip your stuff up. That is simply not true. This is a natural instinct for Misha, and I'm simply channeling it into an appropriate activity that I'm giving her permission to do. So a lot of times when you've got problem behaviours, let's just say digging, shredding things, the whole idea is that we want to find another alternative activity that works for us that also fulfills that natural instinct for the dogs to rip, shred, chew, dig.
Clever girl.
So thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to stay up to date when part 2 will drop.